It's wonderful to sit here with you, by the fire, as the night wraps around us. Tonight, we will talk about something that often lingers in the minds of English learners. I see you there, with your books and your dreams. I know you have big plans for your future. Maybe you dream of studying in a new country. Maybe you hope for a better job. Whatever your goal, there is often a gate you must pass through. That gate is called the IELTS. And as you stand before it, two questions likely weigh on your heart. Why is this gate so expensive? And why does the KETA score expire after just 2 years? These are fair questions. Questions that come from both the heart and the wallet. So let us sit together, watch the flames dance, and explore the story behind the costs and the time of the IELTS exam. This is a story about quality, fairness, and the ever-changing nature of our own minds. Have you ever wondered why we do the things we do? Think about it. You spend hours every day practicing English. You listen to podcasts like English. You repeat words until your tongue grows tired. You do this because you have a vision. You see yourself walking down a street in London, Toronto, or New York. You see a better life for yourself and your family. The IELTS exam is often the bridge to that life. But then you register and see the price. It's not a small fee, it's significant. For many, it's the cost of many dinners, perhaps even a month of rent. It feels heavy. And then you read the fine print. Your score, the result of all your hard work, will expire in just 2 years. Does that feel unfair? It can. You might ask, if I know English today, won't I know it tomorrow? We feel a mix of hope and frustration. We want the opportunity, but the cost can feel like a mountain to climb even before the journey begins. Imagine a young student named Leo. He saves money for a year, working extra hours at a cafe. Every coin brings him closer to his dream of studying engineering in Australia. When he finally has enough for the IELTS, he feels both joy and nervousness. This money must be worth it, he thinks. This test must be special. Leo is not alone. Millions of people feel the same. We are all travelers on this path, looking for a way to prove that we are ready. To understand the cost, we must look behind the curtain. We must see what it takes to build a bridge the whole world can trust. Tonight, we will explore that bridge. We will see why the price is high and why the time is short. Most importantly, we will see that you are not just paying for a piece of paper, you are joining a global system designed to help your dreams come true, safely and fairly. Let us think about what makes a test good. Imagine a test that is too easy, everyone would get a high score. If everyone has a high score, the score loses its meaning. Now, imagine a test that is too hard or asks questions that make no sense. That would be unfair, wouldn't it? Creating a test that is fair for someone in Vietnam, someone in Brazil, and someone in Egypt at the same time is incredibly difficult. TCs, Kayet, standardization. The test must be consistent in difficulty, every single time. For everyone, everywhere. To make this happen, IELTS invests heavily in research. They don't just write questions in an afternoon. It takes years. Experts in language and education study how people learn English. They analyze which words and skills are most important for success in universities and workplaces. Every reading passage and listening clip you encounter has been tested multiple times before you see it. If a question is confusing, it's discarded. If it's too easy, it's revised. This constant checking and refining costs money, but accuracy is the goal. Universities and employers must trust that a Band 7 today means the same as a Band 7 last year. This consistency is what makes IELTS a true global standard. But the world changes. The way we speak English changes. New words emerge. Technology evolves. The test must adapt. And researchers continually update the materials to ensure topics are modern, relevant, and fair. When you pay your exam fee, much of it goes to these scientists and educators. They are the ones making sure the test reflects your true abilities, helping your dreams move closer to reality. Now, let us take a walk in our minds. Imagine walking into an IELTS test center on your exam day. What do you see? A clean, quiet room. Computers that work perfectly. People in uniforms checking IDs and guiding you to your seat. It looks simple, but behind the scenes, It is a massive operation. The cost of the exam helps fund the house where the test lives. Test centers must be highly secure. Why? Because the test papers are like gold. If someone steals the questions, the exam is compromised for everyone. Security measures include cameras, special software, and other high-tech protections to prevent cheating. And then there are the people. Think of the speaking test. You sit across from a real examiner. This person is not just fluent in English. They are highly trained professionals. They have studied for years to learn how to grade your speaking fairly. Examiners are paid for their time and expertise. They follow strict rules and are monitored by other experts to ensure they are neither too nice nor too harsh. This human effort is one of the most expensive parts of IELTS. Unlike fully computerized tests, IELTS values human interaction because it best reflects how you actually communicate. The writing test works the same way. Your essays are read by real people, not machines. Examiners evaluate your ideas, your grammar, and how well you organize your thoughts. Grading thousands of essays every day across the globe requires immense effort. And then there's the technology. Computer-delivered IELTS. Tests require advanced computers, fast and secure internet, and strong cybersecurity. Your personal information and results must be protected at every step. So, when you see the exam fee, try to imagine the building, the security, the computers, and the thousands of teachers and examiners working behind the scenes. They are there to make sure your 3 hours in that room are safe, quiet, and fair so that your hard work can truly shine. The answer is simple. Trust. Over 11,000 organizations around the world trust IELTS. These include top universities, major companies, and immigration authorities in many countries. But this trust did not happen overnight. It took decades of careful work to build a reputation for reliability and fairness. Maintaining a world-class brand is expensive. IELTS partners with organizations like the British Council and IDP, which have offices in nearly every country. These offices help you register, answer your questions, and solve problems when they arise. Think of your TRF, your test report form. That piece of paper is like a universal key. It can open doors in Canada, Australia, the UK, and countless other places. That key works because IELTS invests heavily in relationships. They work with governments to ensure the test meets legal requirements. They collaborate with universities to make sure the exam prepares students for challenging courses. There's also marketing boutte, not to sell something cheaply kind. Here, it's about communication. IELTS must show the world why its scores are trusted. They attend global conferences, share research, and demonstrate that their test is the most reliable measure of English proficiency. When a university in America accepts your IELTS score, they are putting trust in the brand. They are saying, we know this test is good. We know this student is ready. That trust has value. Part of your fee goes toward maintaining it. If the exam were too cheap, IELTS would not have the resources to build relationships with universities, immigration offices, and employers. Without that trust, your score would lose its meaning. In a sense, the high cost protects your hard work. It ensures that when you finally receive your score, it truly counts for the people who can change your life. Understanding the 2-year IELTS expiry. Now, let's address the second question. Why does your IELTS score expire after 2 years? To understand this, we must think about what language really is. Is it like riding a bicycle, where once you learn it, you never forget? Not quite. Language is more like a living river, or perhaps like a muscle in your body. Imagine you go to the gym every day for a year. You become strong, capable of lifting heavy weights. You are proud of your strength. But then you stop. You sit on the couch for 2 years. Are you still as strong as you were before? Of course not. Your muscles shrink. Your power fades. Language works the same way. If you study hard for IELTS, your English muscles are strong on exam day. You know the grammar, the vocabulary, the listening skills, but if you stop practicing, your abilities weaken over time. You have the vocabulary. You can speak clearly. But what happens after the test? For many people, life mopes on. If they don't move to an English-speaking country right away, they might stop using English daily. They return to speaking mostly their native language. Slowly, like a river drying in the sun, their English begins to fade. The fancy words slip away. Understanding fast speech becomes harder. Grammar may get a little rusty. This is the dynamic nature of language. It grows when nurtured, and it shrinks when ignored. The IELTS creators understand this. They have studied thousands of students and seen how English ability can change significantly over just 2 years. The 2-year limit is not meant to make you pay again. It exists because a score from 5 years ago may no longer reflect your current abilities. It is a snapshot of who you were, not necessarily who you are today. Scientists call this language attrition, but we can simply call it skill decay. It is natural. Our brains are smart. They save energy. If we don't use a skill, the brain eventually recycles that space for something else. Imagine you are a pilot. You took a test 2 years ago to show you could fly a large airplane. But if you haven't flown since, would you want me as your passenger? Probably not. You'd want a refresher course to prove you can still fly safely. Universities and employers think the same way about English. If you want to be a nurse in Ireland, you must communicate. Perfect lives could depend on it. A 4-year-old IELTS score doesn't prove you can still follow a doctor's instructions today. A current score is like a fresh photo. When you apply for a visa, a job, or a school, they want to see the current you, your abilities today. They want to be sure that when you arrive, you won't struggle. They want you to succeed. It would be tragic to move across the world based on an old score, only to find your English isn't strong enough to keep up with professors, patients, or colleagues. You would lose time, money, and confidence. The 2-year rule is a safety net. It ensures everyone embarking on a new journey has the fuel to reach their destination. Think of it as a checkup away, to make sure your skills are still sharp and ready for the challenges ahead. It keeps the flow of knowledge moving in the right direction. We must also remember that IELTS does not work alone. The organization provides the score, but it does not always decide how that score is used. The real guardians of the gate are the institutions, universities, governments, and professional boards. These institutions have a responsibility. A university wants students to succeed in their classes. An immigration department wants new residents to find jobs and participate in the community. Because of this responsibility, TASE sets strict institutional needs for English proficiency. Imagine you are the dean of a famous university. You have 1,000 students applying for only 100 spots. You want the very best students who can read challenging books and write long, thoughtful papers in English. If someone shows you a score from 2020, you might wonder, a lot has happened since 2020. Is this student still ready for my demanding classes? Most institutions have settled on the 2-year rule as a fair middle ground. 1 year might be too short. 3 years might be too long. 2 years is the period they trust that your skills are still fresh. This rule also keeps things fair for everyone. If one applicant uses a 10-year-old score while another takes a fresh test, that wouldn't be fair. With a clear rule 2 years, everyone knows the laws of the game. Different countries have different needs. Some immigration programs may accept slightly older scores, while medical boards may require very recent ones. But all of them use IELTS as a benchmark, a trusted measure of your English today. So when you see that expiration date, remember it's also about the people waiting for you on the other side. They want you to succeed. They are guardians of their standards, and the IELTS helps them make the right decisions for their future and yours. My friends, take a deep breath. I've spoken a lot about research, security, and institutions, but I haven't forgotten the most important part of this story. You. Behind every test fee is a person working hard. For many of you, paying for IELTS means foregoing a new phone or a vacation. It is a sacrifice. And yes, the 2-year limit can feel like a ticking clock, adding pressure to an already stressful life. It's okay to feel that pressure. It's okay to feel that it's difficult. Taking IELTS is not just a test of English. It's a test of patience, resilience, and dedication. It is a significant emotional and financial investment. But try to see it differently. Don't see IELTS as an enemy or a tax. See it as part of your journey. Every hour you spend studying is not just for a test, it is for your life. When you improve your English to reach a band 7, you are not just earning a number. You are becoming someone who can express complex ideas, understand different cultures, and connect with people around the world. Think back to Leo, our student from earlier. He worked hard, took the test, and got the score he needed. He went to Australia. Yes, it was expensive. Yes, it required effort. But when he sat in his first engineering lecture and understood every word the professor said, he realized the truth. The test was not just a gate, it was training. It prepared him for the journey ahead. You, too, are on a larger journey. IELTS is a milestone, a signpost along the way. Yes, it is a challenge, but challenges are what make us grow. When you finally hold your certificate, feel proud not just for the score, but for the courage it took to invest in yourself. You believed in your dream enough to pay the price and do the work. The fire is getting low now, my friends. It is almost time to say goodbye. We have traveled together through the reasons IELTS is the way it is. We have seen that the cost pays for research and a global standard everyone trusts. We have seen the human effort and technology that keep the test fair. We have understood the reputation that makes your score a universal key. And we have learned why the tuya limited sistu ensure your English remains a living river, not a dried up stream. I hope this conversation helps you see the IELTS fee and timeline differently. I hope that next time you look at the IELTS website, you don't just see a high price. I hope you see a team working tirelessly to make sure your hard work is respected and recognized. Remember, you are not alone. Millions of people are walking this same path. We are all learning, dreaming, and facing the same gates. But you have something special. The heart of a learner. You are here, listening, growing, and seeking to understand. Keep practicing. Keep listening to your favorite English stories. Keep moving forward. The money you spend and the time you give are seeds you are planting for your future. One day, you will look back and see this moment as a beginning of a new life. The bridge may be expensive, and the walk may be long, but the destination, oh, the destination is beautiful. Thank you for sitting by the fire with me tonight. I believe in you. I know you can do this. Until next time, keep your dreams bright and your heart warm. Goodbye, my friend.